In our previous video, we explored St. George's Market and took a relaxed walk around the city centre. Today, we are continuing our journey through Belfast, following a mix of walking trails that connect the city's maritime history, the Titanic legacy, and the famous Glass of Thrones installations. So let's get started. Hello everyone, welcome to Cat Couple Chronicles. While researching Belfast, the Glass of Thrones came up, and as a Game of Thrones fan, I added it to our must-visit list. A quick Google search led us to this spot, and we are now on the other side of the Queen's Bridge, as I mentioned in my last video. Let's walk towards the installation. This location is at Legan. One of the first characters I noticed in the design is the Red Woman, Melisandre. This panel here is the Baratheon window, and you can also see Joffrey in the artwork. Definitely a character we all love to hate, right? As we look around, we notice this placard on the side, and it's actually quite fun to read. It's a nice stop if you are exploring Belfast, especially for anyone interested in the Game of Thrones connections around the city. But when we look at the other side, we get a real surprise. It says there are a total of 6 installations, and this one is the second. The first installation is on the other side of the bridge from where we came. We have decided to continue walking on this side for now, since all the other installations are located here, and then go back at the end to see the first one. The entire trail is about 2.5 kilometers long, and we are excited to walk it and see all the Glass of Thrones installations along the way. This is a beautiful cafe, but the rain has kept people indoors, so it's much quieter than usual. The wall art around Belfast is also something special. As you walk around the city, you will notice murals and artwork everywhere, and they're incredibly detailed and well done. This one is one of my favorites so far. It features so many things that are very dear to me. So the Glass of Thrones is also a part of the Titanic Trail. Even though we didn't plan to walk the Titanic Trail, we can still experience it through these marked locations along the way. There are so many trails here, and this is just another one of them. I really wish we had more time in Belfast, because then we could have experienced each of these trails properly. We have now reached the third Glass of Thrones installation, located at the SSE Arena. This one features the Targaryen window. You can clearly see Daenerys Targaryen flying on the back of Drogon. This is the Belfast Maritime Mile, and along this stretch you can find plenty of information about Belfast's maritime heritage. As you walk through, there are displays and signs that give a good insight into the city's strong connection with the sea and shipbuilding history. This art installation, known as Soundyard, is inspired by the sounds of Belfast's shipyards. It stands about 6 meters tall and 9.6 meters wide, and is made up of over 500 suspended rods. Movement sensors enable users to activate a motorized system of steel hammers that in turn strike the hollow tubes to generate the nostalgic sounds of striking metal once prevalent in the shipyards. We have now reached the Titanic Quarter. The innovative thinking behind the building of the Titanic is celebrated in this striking 13.5-meter tall bronze sculpture. The sculpture, known as the Kit, was installed in 2009 and is located close to the spot where the Titanic was built over 100 years ago. This installation, featuring Charlie Chaplin in his little tramp guise, along with a shipyard worker and a French waiter, is part of the public art trail. As you can see, many of these trails overlap and are interlinked, making it so easy to experience several of them while walking through the area. We are now at the 4th Glass of Thrones installation, and this one is the White Walker's window. It is located at SS Nomadic. In this panel, you can see the Night King, along with the scene where a baby is transformed into a White Walker. SS Nomadic is a former tender ship of the White Star Line, launched in April 1911 here in Belfast. It was used to transfer passengers, baggage, mail, and supplies to both RMS Olympic and RMS Titanic. When fully loaded, SS Nomadic could carry up to 1,000 passengers. On 10th April 1912, it transferred 274 passengers to the Titanic before its maiden voyage. The ship was later used during both the World Wars. After years of neglect, a campaign was launched to save it. The ship was bought back by the Northern Ireland government and returned to Belfast in 2006. In 2009, it was fully restored and placed here where it stands today in the Titanic Quarter. Today, guided tours are available, and if you're interested, you can buy tickets and visit this important place of history. Walking through the ship gives you a good idea of what it was like for passengers boarding Titanic on her fateful maiden voyage. Tickets can be booked online through Titanic Belfast at titanicbelfast.com. A very short walk from SS Nomadic brings us to Titanic Belfast, one of the major tourist attractions in Northern Ireland. The building houses a series of interactive galleries, private function rooms, and community facilities. It stands 126 feet high, the same height as Titanic's hull. The delicate Titanic sculpture was created by the renowned Irish sculptor Rowan Gillespie and was installed at the front entrance of Titanic Belfast to mark its opening in 2012. The sculpture takes the form of a diving female figure and is inspired by the traditional female figureheads that were once mounted on the prows of sailing ships. This life-size bronze structure represents hope and positivity. As we leave Titanic Belfast behind, we come across the 5th Glass of Thrones installation. This one is the Iron Throne window. So of course we had to stop and take a photo. The glass panel features symbols representing the major families from the series. You can spot the direwolf of House Stark, the three-headed dragon for House Targaryen, and several other familiar emblems. As we continue our walk along the Titanic walkway towards the 6th Glass of Thrones installation, we come across this magnificent structure known as the Great Light. This historic light is around 130 years old and is believed to be the largest optic of its kind ever built. It weighs about 7 tons, stands nearly 7 meters tall, and once produced one of the strongest lighthouse beams ever to shine. And we have now reached the last Glass of Thrones installation, the Lannister window. In this panel, you can see the Mountain, who played a key role in Cersei Lannister's story, along with the scene depicting the death of Prince Oberyn Martell. We have now come across to the other side of the bridge and are face to face with the big fish. This well-known sculpture in Belfast is also known as the Salmon of Knowledge. Officially known as the Big Fish, it's a printed ceramic mosaic installed on Donegal Quay. The artwork was created by John Kindness. What makes this really interesting are its blue ceramic scales. Each scale is made up of tiles that show different scenes and moments from the city's history. According to Belfast City Council, each single scale tells a story about Belfast, making it both an artwork and a visual timeline of the city. We have now reached the very first Glass of Thrones installation located at AC Hotel Belfast. This window features the first family of Game of Thrones, House Stark. Jon Snow takes center stage, surrounded by direwolves and weirwood imagery. You can also spot Sansa Stark and Arya Stark along with other members of the Stark family. And with this, we have completed the entire Glass of Thrones trail. Honestly, seeing the Glass of Thrones installations really makes me want to rewatch Game of Thrones all over again. From here, we are now heading towards the Cathedral Quarter. This alleyway is called Commercial Court, and as the name suggests, it was once the commercial heart of the city. Today the area is lined with pubs and restaurants and has a very lively feel. It's also popularly known as Umbrella Street because of the 21 vibrant neon umbrellas suspended overhead. Even on a grey day, it looks colorful and fun. On a clear sunny day, this place must feel even more alive. We have now reached St. Anne's Cathedral, but it's almost 5 p.m. and the cathedral is closed. So we'll have to admire it from the outside. After a really long day of exploration, starting at St. George's Market, walking the Glass of Thrones trail and also taking in parts of the Maritime and Titanic trails, we have covered almost 10 kilometers today. It's now time for some good food and some much needed rest. Tomorrow, the weather is expected to be dry and we are looking forward to exploring Belfast City Hall, the Linen Hall Library and a few more wonderful places around Belfast. That's where we'll end today's walk. It's been a full day of discovering different sides of Belfast, and we have really enjoyed taking it slow and exploring on foot. Thanks for coming along with us. See you in the next one as we continue exploring more of the city. Bye bye.